Hey there. Thanks for hanging out with K-Dubs and listening to the podcast. Much appreciated. Check us out on YouTube. Shoot us an email. Let us know how we're doing. Hanging out with kdubs@gmail.com. And as always, enjoy the next episode. Do this shit. And which is okay. I don't mind doing that. Yeah, because everybody's busy. Everybody's got kids and families and jobs. And so it can be difficult to take time out of your busy schedule like you're doing to come here and do this shit, but it's just, I've been getting a lot of good feedback from it and figured the hell with it. I'm going to keep rolling with it,
Kind of viewed it as an opportunity just to come down and hang out and catch up with you anyway.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So Matt, one of my oldest friends.
Yeah.
True fact. We've known each other basically when we were born.
Whole life.
Well, you were born before I was. Even though you're only 8 3/4, technically.
One of the few people that can actually run the math.
A damn leap year gets in the way every 4 years,
Yeah, everyone always asks me like when I like to celebrate, and is it like the last day of the month? I'm like, I just celebrate all month long.
Yeah, boy. You should do it next month too.
I got nothing but time.
You could do both. You literally could do both.
So I kind of leave it up to people's discretion. You can either count it as the last day of February or the day after the 28th. So
whichever comes first. Right?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're the only one that I know that was literally born on leap year. It's weird.
I have only ever heard of other people being born on leap year, but I've never actually met anyone else that was.
Yeah, like I said, you're the only one that I know of. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a million people in this world that are born on that day. It's just a really unique day.
Random.
Just like you. Unique.
Unique. Nice way of saying weird or what?
I mean, we're all a little weird.
In our own special way.
So, I figured we'd bring you on here and talk about your place of business.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is, sorry to cut you off, is Lyles Appliance up there in Elkorn, Wisconsin.
Yep. So, it's a small family-run business. My wife's grandpa started it in 1955. And right now, both my in-laws are the owners of the store. And currently, my quote-unquote job position, it's a pretty broad spectrum. I cover a lot of stuff under my umbrella, but I guess if you were to put a term to it, I'm the service department manager. We have our own appliance service division and then our own audio-video department. So I basically kind of oversee both those departments.
You guys got everything up there.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that I haven't kind of tinkered with. So we do, on the audio video side, we can do anything from like a basic TV installation all the way up into like full home automation systems that will integrate with like lighting control, HVAC control, security systems. Projectors.
Yeah?
Yep. So projector screens, motorized screens, drop-down screens, stand-up screens.
So cool.
Doing a job at the end of the month that's getting an 86-inch TV with a full 5.1 surround sound system, and then updating some of their equipment, doing like home automation with it, so I can program remote controls to control your lighting, everything like that. So that's probably like the most intricate part of what I do.
Still freaking sweet.
Yeah, it's a software program, the merchandise, it's Control 4 is what it's called. Pretty popular home automation system, really powerful system too. And then in audio video, we also do full antenna installs. I'm pretty much averaging 1 to 2 new antenna installs a week.
No kidding. Yeah. Like the ones that are up on a tower with a rotor?
Yep, mounted up on top of the roof, on a tower, or whatever the case may be.
Really? That actually kind of shocks me with all the streaming and cable, which, I got to say something. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they have a problem with their cable system. So they call the cable guy to come out, looks at it, and he says, I'm telling you right now, by 2024, cable's going to be no more. Mm-hmm. We're losing so much money. We're losing customers. It's too much money to update all this stuff. There's probably just going to go on the wayside.
With all of the all of your services that you're used to, Spectrum, DirecTV, Dish Network, everything's all going to an app-based platform. So you get a Roku, you can download the Spectrum app, and then all the programming that you would used to need a cable box for, you can just bring it in over a streaming device.
Yeah, which is, who would have thought that 10, 15 years ago?
So that's basically what I've been doing is people get tired of paying the expensive cable bill every month, so they just keep their internet. I install the antenna, so if they have like an internet outage or anything like that, they can still get
local
channels and everything. And pretty much in any given area with a basic antenna install, I'm pulling in anywhere from 60 to 90 channels for people.
Oh, shit.
Yep. And then
just out of curiosity, what's something like that run?
Basic install. If everything's pretty much all wired up, anywhere from like 750 to 900 for.
Well, that's not terrible then.
No, I mean you're looking 7-8 months worth of a cable bill. And then your antenna system's paid for.
As long as the wind or the the tornadoes don't play hell with it.
Yeah, well. And then on top of that, we do central vacuum systems. So like the whole house central vacuums, you have all the...
Pull that mic a little closer.
You get all the inlets and stuff inside the wall. So we do all the plumbing. We do all the service work for all that stuff as well.
Yeah, because you guys are, you're a full-fledged shop up there. I mean, you can sell the product, you can repair the product.
Yep. And then along with the Control 4 home automation, we do internal home networks. So like you get the internet service into the house, and then we can wire up and distribute everything through the house to get you full Wi-Fi coverage everywhere.
No kidding. Wow, you guys are really... Yeah. I didn't know any of this stuff. I mean, obviously I bought some appliances and stuff from you, but I didn't know you got this deep into this.
Yeah. Just today, I was in a 10,000 square foot home out on the lake that I just did a whole house Wi-Fi system in.
Holy balls.
It's a nice estate. It's on Snake Road in Lake Geneva.
Oh, so I know Snake Road.
Yeah, yeah. And then
north side of the lake.
Yeah, the fancy side. There's some nice houses down there that we go into.
When I worked for Deere, I had 2 customers that were up that way.
Yeah, okay.
So I know all about those.
Well, some of these places, I mean, it takes some of that equipment to be able to maintain the property. I mean, they have like just full-time employees on the estate just to maintain it. And then branching off from there, we kind of break into like the appliance service aspect of it. So we've got our own in-shop repair. So if you can bring the appliance to us, we can repair it in shop. We also have myself and one other technician that goes over the road. So we do in-house calls. We service pretty much every product that we sell. So if you get it from us, and we cover all the warranty, everything like that. We submit the warranty claim. You don't have to contact the manufacturer or nothing like that. So it takes a lot of the headache out of the...
That's a big time headache for you guys and not for us. And what I mean by you guys, I mean Lyles for the customer. Well, when I had that little warranty issue here, you're like, oh yeah, we'll take care of it. No problem. I mean, you came down and took care of it. Piece of cake. And it was like, holy shit, if I'd have bought that from, I was going to say Sears, but sorry, Sears.
I don't think their feelings are hurt.
Yeah, I think they're just laughing at us right now for all the money they made. But yeah, if you buy an appliance from somewhere else, you're kind of on your own here.
So with that's probably one of our biggest selling points is the service department. So you buy from a big box store, as soon as it's dropped off their truck, if there's a problem with it, it is not their problem. All their job is to do is to get it to your door. They sold you the product, but they have no service. So you have to contact the manufacturer, go through the steps, call 1-800 blah, 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 get the automated system, everything like that.
Get the automated system that you're on there for 14 minutes and you're, come on, answer the fucking phone.
Yeah, so that's my headache to kind of oversee. And then we have our own sales floor. So this is actually a pretty cool story. It was a couple years back. We had a show I want to say it was Vegas. I'm about 90% sure it was Vegas. My wife could confirm that. But she actually wrote up like the backstory of Lyles because the buying group that we're part of, they were giving away 4 store remodels nationwide. So she submitted our store's story and everything was reviewed, kind of had everything looked over, and we ended up winning one of the store remodels. So
That's cool.
Yeah, they had like a whole crew come in. They had a whole bunch of like just decorations and just memorabilia and whatever, and helped us get all the design stuff done. And then we had like construction guys come in, and we all helped with everything as well.
Obviously.
Yep. Pulling all the appliances, putting in new flooring.
Well, and I'm sure you guys probably got a say in how you wanted it done. Too.
Yeah. And on top of like the remodeling that they kind of sponsored, we also chipped in some of our own so we could do some additional stuff that obviously the store needed. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. The full showroom floor upstairs got redone. We redid part of our basement because we also sell bedding. We took on a bedding line, so mattresses, box springs, frames, everything like that. We do. The line that we carry is Beauty Rest, Simmons Beauty Rest.
Beauty Rest.
And
looks like you got it one.
We do, yeah. So we actually got a little bit spoiled because we got one of like the adjustable bed frames. So like the headrest comes up, the feet come up. It's got like massaging through it, lights underneath. It's a fancy freaking frame. So yeah, we got spoiled in that aspect of it. So we just brought on a furniture line. So we really don't have any showroom space left to display much of it.
Yeah, because, I mean, your guys' showroom is impressive. It really is. I mean, last time I was in there, you kind of walk up that ramp into the door, and it's just ranges, and then it's washer and dryers. I mean, 3 lines of washer and dryers, and then it's your refrigerators on the other side of that, right? Am I still going this way? And then you get the deep freezes in the back along with whatever microwaves that you got going on back there. And then your audio center is also on the other side of the ranges over there, right?
Yeah. So like the audio video, that's kind of like center of the store. So you walk in, you see all the appliances and like a back room to the back quarter. That's where we have the microwaves and dishwashers, but we have a high-end room just because of like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Cove dishwashers, a lot of that real high-end stuff. We have a showroom floor for that. And then parts room is downstairs. And we actually had to build a new off-site warehouse because there's just so much product
you were
that
maxed.
I
remember you talking to me about that a little while ago.
Yep. So we finally got the new pole barn and everything put up for additional storage for the appliances. So yeah, over the past few years, things have just kind of been rocking and rolling.
You guys have expanded big time.
So expansion, yes, and we've actually had a lot of like downsizing. Just like everybody, you're looking for more help. So,
are you guys looking for help, being that we're on that topic?
Yeah, we kind of always are looking for the right person. So obviously, given the scope of work that we do, trying to find the right person to fit in. So like the difficulty you run into is you can find a person that's good at working on stuff, or you can find the person that's good at talking to people, but it's really hard to find
the both.
Yeah. So. But with the crew that we got now, we've been maintaining it, not without our headaches, obviously.
Every business has got headaches.
Yeah.
It's not just you. Go to any fast food restaurant, any clothing restaurant, or any clothing store, any Walmart. They all have their headaches.
We're not special in that part of it.
Damn it.
But no, and honestly, on kind of like a different note of the thing, probably one of the more difficult things to deal with is the type of mentality of people that has kind of been sprung up just from a lot of the big box store mentality. I kind of call it like the Amazon mentality and everything like that. So I get beat up on this topic all the time. We'll sell somebody a new appliance, and let's say right out of the box or within the first week, something happens, something breaks, or whatever the case may be.
It happens.
It certainly does. That's what we have a service department for. So we send a guy out. We try to accommodate as soon as possible. But just because of the mentality of like Amazon, Walmart, everything, like, oh, just give me a new one. Just give me a new one. I'm sorry, but
it doesn't work that way.
That's not how it works. So it's like
that's why it's called a warranty.
Exactly
right.
It's
not a switchery. It's a warranty. The whole reason, look, I can follow you with this because when I was in sales at Deere,
yep,
I had the same kind of thing happen. Right, I sold this lady a brand new Gator, brand new. I mean, this thing had 0.3 hours on it. So on and off trucks through the lot, whatever. So I sold her this Gator, and she took it home, and I get a phone call from her like 3 days later. She goes, "This thing's smoking. Come get it." Okay, we'll come get it. You know, something's not right. Pick it up, bring it back. Long story short, I don't exactly remember what it was, but I think it was the belt was running on a plastic cover over it for protection, and that cover got sucked up into the belt, which was making it smoke. Okay, we'll put a new belt on. We'll put a new cover on her. She's like, "No, I want a new one. I want a different new one." I'm like, "Man, but don't work that way." You know, like I understand you're frustrated. I understand it's new, but it didn't happen when we were here. I mean, obviously we looked over the whole thing. We drove it around the lot to make sure it was good to go. So something happened between here and there, which whatever. If it's our fault, her fault, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we'll fix it for you. We're not going to charge you anything to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to bring it back to you in the brand new shape that it was in.
So,
oh my God.
Like the hardest part for me to understand is like people, okay, so a new belt, $40, a plastic cover, $25. You want me to completely exchange out or scrap out a unit, like a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 unit for $50 worth of parts?
Yeah. Plus a little time and labor to fix it.
Yeah, I apologize for the inconvenience
It
and
sucks.
the headache you gotta go through, but
I get it.
but you kind of just you learn to take it in stride. You know,
it is frustrating though because it's like, you know, it is a warranty, and that warranty is there. So if there is a manufacturer default, if we don't catch it before it comes out to you, and you happen to get it, we will take care of it. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you. We're not here just to sell you a product and good luck, adios. Next year.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not where it's at.
So, but you kind of learn how to adapt, and that's where the people skills come in, where you need to be a good technician and good with people as well. So
sometimes it can get the best of you, though.
Yeah,
I get it.
When you care about what you do, sometimes you can't help but take it personally.
I fully agree with that. I think that there's not a lot of those people out there, though. No, but those are the ones that always stand out. Those are the ones you don't forget in a bad way.
Yeah, well, like you can have 9 good instances, but most people don't call and praise you with a job well done. Few and far between, we do get them, but usually you only hear from people when there's a problem.
So the funny thing is there's some mentality out there that everybody out of high school ought to join the military, be in the military for 4 years or 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can understand what the military is like. I disagree with that. I think during high school, everybody needs to work a customer service job. Everyone. I don't care if you are a teller at Walmart. I don't care if you're cooking pizzas at Little Caesars or
So I'll make this comparison for you. So whether or not you're in the military or doing sales, you're in the trenches taking grenades either way. So I think either one would be acceptable.
That's funny. I do, though, because I really think people would tend to treat people in the service industry better, especially if they were the ones that, you know, hey, yep, I screwed up. It's my fault. And you get your ass chewed. Well, now you know not to screw up again. You know? I mean, so you learn from that mistake to move forward. And then you also don't have jackasses that don't take care of waiters and waitresses and things like that.
So kind of with not taking care of stuff, I can point out another big pet peeve of mine with this stuff is there's a lot of people that think the machine is new it's designed to be able to take whatever you throw at it. So they will literally just like,
I can already see where this
yeah,
is. I'm going to throw a brick in the dryer.
Yeah, and then wonder why it breaks and get mad at me for it. So, you know.
I'm dying. Yeah. I don't know why it's so funny.
But like I said, you just kind of learn to let it roll off your shoulders, take it in stride, be like, all right, I'll be out there tomorrow to take a look at this brick that's in there. You know? So.
Oh, shit. So you've done a lot of you've done different parts of that business. No, you didn't just start in service and stay in service.
No, I bounced around. So I'm actually working on 10 years consecutively and just about over 12 years in total with Lyles TV.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I actually started there. It was the summer between my junior and senior year in high school. I went in and I started working on the AV crew, so I was doing like antenna installs and everything. That's kind of like where I began. And then worked for them for a little bit after I graduated, left, did a couple other different jobs here and there. And then 2014, it was May of 2014 when I came back full-time. Started out on deliveries. It was actually my father-in-law and I who were like the main delivery guys back then. So him and I would go out on the road, do all the installs and everything.
Yeah, because you got a big box truck or something like that, right? I don't remember exactly what it was.
We have two of them now.
Actually. Two of them now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we've got a Ford F650, and then not too long ago we found a pretty good deal on International, really, really big box truck.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got the Cummins diesel and everything in it. That one's kind of just like our backup. We use the smaller one for the day-to-day, just getting in and out of driveways is easier and stuff like that. But, yeah, deliveries was what I started out with back when I came in 2014. And then I got...
so the funny story about that was my old house.
Yep.
When I bought that fridge from you guys in my old house. And that was... that had to be 2016 probably.
That sounds right.
Maybe 2017, something like that.
I suck with dates, so
yeah, me too. But it was great because my doorways were so small that you couldn't pull that fridge in, so you had to like disassemble the whole fridge outside and take all the doors off, take all the shelves out of it, just to squeeze it through the door. And then you got it in there, you put it all back together for me.
That's pretty common practice, especially fridges nowadays. They're huge, man, and heavy. So we just went. We loaded one on a truck the other day. It was 750 pounds.
Holy balls, Batman. That's a big fucking fridge.
Yeah, that's like a 3-4 guy delivery. When we do like 30.
I thought you worked out.
I don't have to all the time. I would, but I'm too damn tired from moving fridges.
That is a big fridge.
Yeah, no, but I do still try and work out just to stay in shape for it. But, yeah, so after deliveries, then I got brought over into audio-video again. That's kind of when we were doing the Control 4, so went through training and everything on that. Took over management of the AV department. Was in charge of that for about a year and a half, and then the opening for the service department manager opened up. And like I had no prior experience with appliances whatsoever. I worked on some stuff here and there in the shop because we used to have used appliances that we would sell. So I'd fix up the old ones and then resell them. So I kind of taught myself that way. So it was January 2018, when I took over the service department. And then as of just recently is when I jumped back over into AV again, just because being shorthanded, you gotta fill the void.
And you're the guy.
Yep.
You're the guy.
So I've done management in all three departments. So basically whenever there's an opening or anything goes wrong, it's just like,
you the man.
Yep. Find the answer.
Yeah. Cause I know my old dishwasher here, I was having problems, and you're like, oh, let me look at it. I didn't buy it from you or nothing, but shit, you looked in there, you tore it all apart. You're like, okay, here's your problem. We're going to get some parts ordered for you. That all comes with time. You learn that through doing it and time.
I remember the lessons that I learned the hard way. Just like I said, I did not have really any prior appliance experience. So everything I learned, it was out on the road when I was getting my butt kicked by something.
Yeah, the good thing about today, though, is we got these little things in our pockets that you can pull up YouTube and all sorts of these other things to help through. I mean, today I was working on a freaking lawnmower, and I'm like, I don't know how the hell this is supposed to work, So I just jumped on YouTube, and before I know it, I'm like, okay, I got to take this apart, do this. Okay, I think I got it now.
YouTube University.
It's just, that is helpful.
So people get overwhelmed a lot of times when they're working on stuff. So like I've worked on a pretty wild spectrum of stuff, so I kind of have a lot of work experience in that. But one thing you learn from working on stuff is mechanical concepts are always basically the same. It's like a drain pump is a drain pump. A wash motor is a wash motor. It doesn't matter what the manufacturer is. It's just all the parts are the same.
Maybe it's just in a different spot, or it's a different way to get to it, or whatever the case may be.
So people get intimidated just because they don't necessarily know. It's like, it's just in a slightly different area, so you got to look somewhere else. So you just got to be patient and deal with the headaches as they come. And
like I said, you being able that, and I know that, tell me all the different brands that you guys even, you can go from fridges to freezers to washer and dryers. I mean, you guys have probably 15 different brands there, don't you?
So basically, the only brands we don't sell, Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. So those are all basically Whirlpool products. Whirlpool is the mother company. All the other are kind of like the little sister
Whirlpool
company.
Makes it, and they...
Exactly right. And then we also no longer sell Samsung products. So of those...
Oh. Yeah. You're breaking my heart.
Yeah, well... So we've had a lot of heartaches with Samsung. They had mostly their refrigerators, pretty major design flaws, and a couple of components on there that caused repeat issues. Despite me working on them 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, just the problem keeps coming back because
something's not done right, or it's not manufactured the correct way, or engineering sucked. What's new?
So we ended up, but GE is probably one of our best sellers. GE's actually got probably the widest variety of products out there. Monogram is like their top of the line, and then Cafe is one step down, Profile, and then just standard GE from there. And then they also offer the most color options. Just due to overall availability of product.
Yeah, and they've had a pretty good product. They got a pretty good name to them.
Yep. It's a lot better than it used to be as well. So there used to be a lot of problems getting like GE parts and stuff like that, but that's been taken care of. But LG, Frigidaire, Electrolux, we actually took on Medea when like COVID and everything was going crazy.
What's Medea?
So it's just another brand. It's a foreign brand. So it's not of like the utmost. It's not like the highest end appliance, but very, very affordable. So that
affordable is a good thing.
Yes. Yep. Wallet friendly is always a good way to go.
Well, and now you can be diverse too, right? So if somebody walks in and says, hey, I don't got a ton of money, but I want a decent product, you can say, hey, come right on over here to this.
Yep.
It works. Yep. You're not missing out on the little guy now.
Exactly right.
And the little guy can still come to you and get the same service compared to somebody who's buying a high-end piece.
Exactly.
Because that's what you guys do.
Yep. And electronics-wise, we sell Sony, LG, Samsung TVs we do still sell. As far as
they make a good TV though, I think.
They picture quality. So Samsung is probably one of the better picture qualities out there aside from like Sony, but overall reliability, LG and Sony are a little bit more reliable, but you're kind of running neck and neck with all three of them. So we've been in business long enough that we kind of know what to sell, so that way we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. So that's kind of why we try to stick with what we do.
Is there like this may be a stupid question because I don't know it, but is there like a convention that you guys can go to yearly, every other year, to see new products that come out and all that kind of stuff?
So how I was talking about that show in Vegas that we submitted the story with, that was one of the conventions. So they usually have 2 big seminars a year. We're part of, it's called Brand Source. It's a buying group. So that's how we stay competitive with the big box stores. So obviously, over sheer volume, Lyles TV and Appliance can't hold a candle to Home Depot, right?
Exactly.
So what we did overall was nationwide. Brand Source is an independent dealers group. So all of the independent dealers nationwide like us, we all get we get together in one group, and that gives us the same buying power as all these big box stores.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, one little guy all get together. Now you're not just one little guy. You're one ginormous piece to go along with Home Depot and Walmart and all these other brands.
Because with the internet, I mean, endless information at your fingertips. You can come into our store, get the model number off of it, see our price tag, and go on your phone and check the price for 16 other stores within the area. So what's the point in not being price competitive now?
You have to be. You have to be.
Yeah. You wouldn't survive otherwise. I mean, I'm not selling you a fridge for an extra $200 just because of being me, you know? Who cares?
Or you, or whatever.
Yeah.
No, and you have to be price competitive. Even though you guys are the full deal, the full package, you still have to be price competitive. Because a lot of people are going to look at that and go, well, I'm going to spend $100 over here, and I'm going to hope that nothing goes wrong.
So, yeah, and that's actually one thing, too, amongst being in the different departments. I used to have a lot more time to do it, not so much anymore, but I used to step out on the sales floor pretty frequently just because we only had like 1.5 salesmen, you can call it. We have one like primary. We've got one guy who works towards the end of the week, and then my father-in-law, he's also one of the salesmen too, but he's always kind of bouncing back and forth doing whatever. So yeah, I used to step out on the sales floor quite a bit, and my other brother-in-law, he is the deliveries manager there now as well. He'll step out on the sales floor. So
it's a group effort to get that sales floor.
Everyone just kind of fills in. If there's a customer that needs to be waited on, it doesn't matter what they need. Just go out and
help them.
Yep, just initiate that contact and take it from there. So all in all, it's a good company to work for. I mean, I can go in and tell my boss to KMA if I wanted to, and I'm not worried about getting fired. So.
Well, yeah, when your in-laws are that way, you kind of. I mean, I probably couldn't do that to my boss, but you can probably do that to yours, and then go home and all right, come over. We're gonna have steak tonight on the grill. Or
I don't care if you're mad at me. I'll see you at Christmas.
Exactly. Well, that's good. I'm glad to see you guys expanding and getting more product and selling more product. That's great.
Yeah, COVID years, I mean, it was a struggle getting stuff, but we've made our way past that portion of everything.
Yeah, because I remember when I was looking to buy a fridge, and it was 2021, and I was like, hey, how's them Samsung fridge? And you're like, I'll order you one, but could be 3 weeks, could be 3 months, could be 3 years. We don't know.
So there were actually orders that we had, like customers would place orders for $10,000, $12,000 worth of products that over a year and a half just never showed up.
No shit.
So that
makes it tough.
That was one of the deciding factors. Like we had to call people and tell them, like, hey, we're not getting it. You better come in and pick something else out. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at.
Well, it's. I know. I had Dean on here last week, and we talked a little bit about, he was in the restaurant business, and we talked a little bit about COVID and how it affected him. And I can imagine it probably affected you guys similar. I mean, I'm sure you probably said, if you want to come in the store, you can, but if you don't, we understand.
So
we're going to try to do our best to accommodate everybody, and that never works.
No, that we weren't real sticklers about anything. Obviously, if a customer came in and requested us to wear a mask, we would do so, but we didn't require like our technicians or anything like that to wear them when we're out and about. So we were kind of like, I guess you can call us one of the essential workers because we never closed down.
You have to. I mean,
if somebody is sick and their refrigerator breaks,
well, come fix my refrigerator because I don't want to lose all the meat I got in there right now.
Yeah. So,
let's take a quick break. I gotta talk to a guy about a horse. This podcast episode is sponsored by Dan's Diesel Performance. If you're looking to improve your truck's performance, efficiency, or appearance, check out Dan's Diesel Performance. They manufacture turbochargers, fuel injectors, fuel pumps, transmissions, intake piping, and much, much more. Plus, they offer all the top brands in the diesel industry. They're located in Machesney Park, Illinois. Visit their website at dansdieselperformance.com or give them a call at 815-977-5865. We can always go on whatever subject tangent. I don't care if we had 15 different subjects in the last 25 minutes. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you can just kind of open up. So, Matt, I know you like shooting and everything.
Just talk. It don't matter.
Gotten any new ones?
Well, I was going to bring it up because I had a freaking gopher. It's been digging a hole underneath my back shed.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to trap it because I'm like, I don't know shit about trapping. Like, I'll put a friggin' thing out there and I'll catch a skunk, and that's really going to piss me off. And I don't know, I'm not going to know what to do with it. So I just bide my time. Well, last week, I finally seen that baby out there, and I grabbed the AR, and I snuck out behind the garage, and he was probably 50 yards or whatever, and one shot got him. So really? I was like, yeah, right. I was like, yeah, finally got him. And then I went out there. Oh, I don't know. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah. So I went out there Saturday. There's another friggin' hole dug up. I'm like, God damn it! There's another friggin' gopher out.
They're multiplying.
Like, ugh.
So yeah, I really I haven't done any hunting or anything really since I was younger. I like guns, like shooting, everything like that. So
we did that for your bachelor party.
Yeah. So
Which was a blast.
That was it was the same thing my brother-in-law did for his bachelor party, and I had so much fun doing it at his. I'm like, I want to do that for mine because it's cool. You know, we had tannerite and clay pigeons and throwers and
fridges and
yeah, we've done that frequently.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time.
So, got a new AR. So I've had the same AR for probably about the past 10, 11 years now, and I've always wanted a different one, and finally got that one. Got a couple of new pistols. So for my birthday this year, actually, my brother surprised me with a new Glock 10 millimeter.
Really?
Yeah, like, dang. I was really shocked by that one. It's a super cool gun. It's got like the American flag stars and stuff on the upper.
Awesome.
So it's a really sharp looking gun.
You'll have to send me a picture of that so I can edit it on here.
Yeah, I've got one on my phone. So I shot it for the first time a couple weeks ago. We went out to my in-laws' house and we had some tannerite and some Bud Light to blow up.
Boom boom.
Yeah, so we did a little bit of shooting.
Bud Light. Okay, Kid Rock.
Right. And then my son, Jackson, he's actually kind of getting into shooting a little bit. So the very first gun that I bought, it was a bolt action 22 single shot. So that's the gun that I'm teaching all the kids to shoot with.
Perfect.
And he wanted to shoot the AR. So we actually got him all set up. I stood behind him, helped him hold it and everything like that, and he was shooting the AR. So that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're not that big of a kick. So
No. And so that worked out really cool. He really liked shooting. He had a lot of fun doing that. And but most of the time, I just kind of like going out there. I'll usually send like one mag through each of the gun that I bring out, and then I'll just kind of like sit back and watch everybody else shoot because I just kind of like helping and watching and kind of doing.
Plus, ammo is expensive.
It's not.
Why can't that shit come down in price?
10mm ammo is pretty hard to find right now,
I was just gonna say 10 mil. That's probably pretty difficult.
So I'll actually tell you a little story about a 10mm pistol. So it actually used to be an FBI issue pistol, but the round has so much velocity that it was passing through people that they would shoot, and there was too much collateral damage. So the FBI actually had to issue a smaller caliber weapon.
Hence 9mm.
Yeah. Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Fun bit of information. So a 40 and a 10mm, they're more or less the same size round. It's just there's a lot more boom behind the 10mm.
Behind the 10.
Yep.
A little bit more gunpowder back there.
Yep. So I've got a 10mm Glock. I've got the 40 Glock. And then my everyday carry, I've got my concealed carry license. I carry a Kimber Micro 9mm.
Oh, that's simple.
Yeah, it's a nice little gun, too. I love that gun.
Probably not much of a kick on that, I would imagine.
No, it's not much to hold on to, so that's why I like that it's a 9mm.
Well, yeah, that's pocket-sized.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the conceal part.
Exactly right. So,
Yeah, when you get into them bigger guns, it's kind of hard to conceal them babies the right way.
Yeah.
But that's why they make those little guns like that. My mom's got a little gun. I can't remember what it is. I think hers is a Smith & Wesson. 9mm Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
But it's a cute little gun. It shoots really nice. Shoots true. And I remember when she first got it, I was like, that's a nice little gun. She goes, oh, I really like it, you know. And she's a pretty good shot with it, too. I wouldn't want to be within 15 yards of her when she's pissed off.
Well, I mean, she'd probably hit your ass with a wooden spoon before she would.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's one thing. A lot of people that they need to practice, you know.
Practice makes everything, especially when you're concealing.
Firearm safety, I try to be kind of a stickler about that, especially when I'm trying to teach the kids. You have, in today's world, you have to do that. Starts at a young age.
Yeah, you can't be afraid of the firearm.
No, right? It's just a tool, just like anything else.
It's no different than the car that you're driving or the truck that you showed up in today. Mm-hmm. If you abuse it, everybody's going to know.
Yep.
A firearm is the same way.
Exactly right. So a lot of times with firearms, I consider it like somebody's penis, you know. As long as somebody's not waving it in front of my face, I really don't care if you have one.
Hence the Bud Light, or
pretty much, yeah. So that's one thing that it's probably one of the biggest problems with. Nobody can just leave well enough alone anymore. So
I get it.
You have your own lifestyle. I've got my rights. You've got your rights. If you want to do whatever you want to do, by all means, go ahead and do it. If
have
you
fun.
Want, yep. If you want to be homosexual, whatever the case may be, I don't necessarily care because your orientation usually does not affect my day to day.
You're 100% correct.
Why can't you just leave well enough alone?
You know, and I've been that way. I mean, I think I was kind of raised and born that way, born and raised that way. But, you know, if you guys want to go downtown Chicago and have a parade, by all means, do it. Mm-hmm. But don't televise it for the whole world to see. If you want to be there, be there.
I don't walk around yelling at everybody how straight I am.
You don't?
I'm going to start tomorrow.
Walk into some customer's house. I'm straight, and I'm here to fix your dryer.
But I mean, I went to high school with some people. I've got some friends that are of a different sexual orientation. They're good people. I mean, they're decent people. It's just.
I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care what. If you treat me with respect, you're going to get it back.
That is 100%
That's just the way it is with me.
And like that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like if you're an asshole, I'll treat you like an asshole.
I can be one too.
I don't care.
Can you believe it or not? I can be one.
Yeah,
and I'll show it to you.
I'd be glad to prove it firsthand. You know. So I don't get why everybody, it's a tactic that everybody tries to use to try and get the attention they need to get their point across.
Well, and I think Bud Light really screwed up, or Anheuser-Busch, because I think I know what they were trying to do, right? I don't think they put this trans person on their Bud Light can to piss everybody off.
No, I mean,
they put it on there to try to sell Bud Light and Budweiser and whatever to trans.
They're
their community.
Diversifying the group. They're trying to expand out and be all inclusive. I mean, as far as sales go, I mean, kind of circling back to the store, trans people need washers and dryers too.
Well, the point that I was trying to get is yes, we understand that you want to go into the LGBTQ community.
Plus,
sorry, I don't know. I don't watch the news, so
yeah.
I'm literally probably like 24 months behind, except for this because my Facebook page has been blowing up on it. That's the only reason I know about it.
I call them the alphabet people.
Hey, whatever works for you.
It's a Dave Chappelle skit. He calls them the alphabet people.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they took half the alphabet for themselves.
Dave Chappelle, that guy is so... Anyway, we'll get to Dave Chappelle in a minute, but I think a lot of people were pissed off. It's like, hey, what about the hardworking American? What about the Navy SEAL? What about...
So
pick something.
So here's the dilemma with that. So just because I say I like something doesn't mean I hate the other thing.
Agreed.
So like I like the color green. That doesn't mean I hate blue. You know? So it's like, and then
it's the unspoken that everybody thinks.
Yep. And then on top of that point, what happened to the good old days of, okay, well, this company has advertised something that I don't agree with. Instead of throwing a shit fit about it, I'm just not going to buy their product. I will find another product to buy and go about my life the way that it was before. Why do we have to try and drill a fucking point into everything that's done?
Or not done.
Or not done.
Or not said. I agree. Because I think we're to the point where people are soft, right? And everybody's got feelings, and everybody thinks that they're entitled. You ain't got shit. Go out and earn it.
Everybody's got a right. Nobody's got the responsibility behind it.
That's a good point.
So that, and I had another point, but I got sidetracked. So I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it.
Well, we're into some deep shit here.
I know.
So, we talk about deep shit. Sometimes this stuff gets sidetracked.
This is the point in the show where I'm going to start getting revved up a little bit. You'll see the hand gestures coming up.
You warned me before.
But
I don't get angry with it. Like, what's the point of getting angry? Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch made a decision. That's great. Now you have to live with your decision. Mm-hmm. If you can walk in and tell your boss to kiss your ass, you have the right to do that. Now, what happens after that, that's up to you.
I got to deal with the consequences of my actions.
Exactly.
So,
and I think a lot in today's world that nobody's held accountable.
That is 100% true. So accountability is probably at its all-time low. It's like somebody can do something and they try and blame a group. No, it's not the individual anymore.
Or the item that was used.
Yeah.
Or if you want to get into politics, these political leaders that we have will say one thing and then completely do another. But guess what? They're not going to get fired. They don't care. They've already got their name. They're already there. There's no getting rid of them at that point. Yeah. So the accountability in today's world is terrible.
And whatever happened to just somebody being fucking nuts? Like, we have to come up with this justification for everything. Obviously, like mass shootings and everything, they're very, very prevalent these days.
And terrible. Terrible.
Absolutely. But why do you have to try and come up with like the explanation behind, oh, this person, he's from this background, he did this, and he blah, blah, blah. It's like, he was nuts.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Or a bad girl. You know, they had a screw loose and we didn't catch him.
People seem to forget that just for some odd reason, evil exists in the world.
Evil is always going to exist. And here's the fun thing, right? So we're probably, I don't even know the number. I'm sure somebody will call me on it. Let's just say there's 8 billion people in the world. I don't know. Does that number sound right? Sounds good to me.
We'll work with 8 billion.
Yeah. Now. You're telling me that even if 1% of those people are bad or psychotic or chaotic or whatever you want to call it, that's a large number of people that can still
wreak a lot of havoc. And I mean, if you break it down, if you want to play, lack of a better term, devil's advocate, if evil didn't exist, how bored would God be? Yeah, like really.
I didn't even think about that one.
Like, if you didn't have evil people in the world, you would not appreciate the good ones at all.
Well, and look at the other side of that too, right? We wouldn't need police officers.
Yeah. Because how many jobs are created just from people being
evil.
Assholes?
No judges, no lawyers. Oh, that kind of sound like a pretty nice world, to be honest with
you. I guess everyone's got their utopia.
It's just crazy the way that this is all going. And the funny thing is like I've asked the older generation. Now, don't take offense to this when I say this, but anybody over 60, have you ever seen anything anything like this in your life? And they're like, no. Yeah. No, this is something that's off the hooks.
You know what? So that just kind of triggered a flashback in my head here. I actually watched a video, I believe it was this morning, and it was a guy talking to like a group of feminists. And it was actually a good conversation between them. But if you talk to the age group of like the 60-plus-year-olds, so like the stats that he threw out, I'm going to have to try and word this properly, is people in like their 60s and 70s, they had to put forward a fourth of the effort to get a woman that is 4 times of what the woman is now. You understand what I'm saying with that? So like it's much more difficult for guys like us.
Yes.
We have to work 4 times as hard just to get a girl.
Which makes sense.
And I'm not trying to be sexist or anything on this by any means, but there are gender roles that are basically inherent to male and female.
Agreed.
And now we're kind of breaking into like the biology and transgender and everything like that. So I'm better at lifting heavy stuff than my wife is. It's no offense to her. It's just I'm overall stronger. That's a true
100% biological fact.
Yes.
Men are usually stronger than women.
She is 100% better at, I can't even tell you how many other things than I am.
Everything else.
Everything. Yeah. You want me to move something? No problem. I can do it. But sorry, you're on your own for the rest because you're better than me, you know? And there's no offense to be taken by that. No. I don't understand. Like, everybody wants to be equal, but it's not equal because everybody kind of has their own stuff that they're good at.
Their own part.
Yeah, and obviously there's exceptions to the rule. So there are a lot of males, and you see a lot of like male teachers and male nurses and everything like that. Mm-hmm. They are inherently better at just like taking care of people, which is perfectly fine because we need that too.
Right. You always hear the saying that a house becomes a home when a woman moves in. There's a reason for that.
Exactly right.
Because dudes, we don't really give a shit. I mean, the funny thing is, I'll just take this a little bit into this. Love my girlfriend to death, but man, the hair products and the shampoos and all that. I mean, I go into the shower, I have shampoo for my hair and I have soap for my body. That's it. And they're like, well, no, this shampoo's for this day or this specific thing. And this is for this and this and this. And this works for that. And if I have dry skin, then I use this for this. And it's like, okay, well, men don't give a shit. Yeah. Most men don't.
I've got shampoo, conditioner, body wash, engine degreaser, all in the same bottle.
It works for everything. But it's the way I said that is because women tend to focus on more detail-oriented things.
They are extremely more
than men.
That's one thing that they are better at, and I can attest to that because like any home improvement project that we're working on, anything like that, my wife she designs it. She picks out the colors. She tells me what she wants. We fight over it for about 3 days, and then she wins
cave.
anyway.
This is so stupid. This looks ugly. And then 3 days later, fine, honey, let's go. Let's get it done.
And that looks great.
When it's done, you're like, okay, you got a point.
Yeah, and like
you got it right.
Like that's one thing that women are inherently better at. They kind of have that vision to be able to like coordinate everything to tie in together, which is why they can turn a house into a home.
And which is why they're very good at throwing parties.
Yeah.
Because they can... I don't understand it. Because like, I'm a dude. I don't understand that. But
party coordinators, wedding coordinators, everything like that.
Most of them are women. And there's a reason for it.
Yep.
Because they're very, very good at it.
So I was watching a video by Jordan Peterson this morning, and he was talking about that. Like it was a feminist who was actually trying to trip him up and make him sound like an idiot about equality and everything like that across the workforce and all that. So he brought up the topic. It's like, all right, well, a mason, that is a job that is like 99.9% just male dominant, because of the scope of work that it entails. So are you telling me that we should take a mason's job and try and bring that to the spectrum of being equivalent for women? It's like, why would we change what is inherently male dominant to be more inclusive for women when it is 99%? It's like, why would we change the entire policy on everything for like that 0.1% just to be more accommodating?
Yeah, and you know, because we can go down the line. I mean, construction workers,
yeah,
you know, linemen, all basically dominantly men. Now, there's a few women out there that do it.
Yep.
Kudos to you.
I'm
not for it. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, like, good job. If that's what you want to do, great.
There's always an exception to the rule, but it doesn't make it the rule.
Exactly.
So, and like the jobs that are more inherently women, why should we change their job procedures to be more accommodating for men when it's only a small percentage? Like, you make it more difficult for the 90% to make it easier for the 10%. It's not logical.
Yeah, it's like the one egg spoils the basket, or what is the one apple spoils the bunch, or whatever the hell
one
it is.
bad apple spoils a bunch.
Yeah, there you go. That's the terminology.
Sounds right.
It's close enough. I'm sure.
Close enough to get the point across.
Yeah. And again, you know, we go back to what we said before. I don't give a shit what you want to do. Mm-hmm. If you want to go be a masonry, go be a masonry.
Yeah,
if you want to go and decide, you know what, I'm tired of appliances, I'm going to go be a nurse. Go be a nurse.
Yeah,
you have every right to do that.
I used to lift weights with a male nurse at a gym that I would go to, and super nice guy. And I also, when I worked for the drywall delivery company, several times out on a job, I ran into a mason group. It was a husband and a wife. The husband would lay all the bricks, and the wife was carrying all the bricks over, breaking the bricks in half with the hammer. And like they were
right there. Good team.
Good team. Probably some of like the best masons I have seen work together ever. So what the hell? There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. I think that goes back to the entitlement thing. Like, people think that they're entitled to something. You go work for it. When you get done working for it, now you've entitled that because you've worked for it. You've earned it. And because you've earned it, you've learned it. Now you can say, hey, I have paid my dues.
So, everybody always goes about equal. Well, they're forgetting some important terminology. So equal opportunity versus equal outcome. Nobody wants the equal opportunity. Everybody just wants that equal outcome. It's like, oh, that person over there has something more than me. Why should he have it and not me? Give it to me.
Well, and I think the other thing that everybody needs to understand, and I know everybody probably knows this, but they don't think about it, is not everybody is going to have the same opportunity the day they're born. Maybe it's because of location, region. Maybe you were not born with a chromosome. There's maybe you had a problem in the womb and you didn't have a left hand or a right hand. Guess what? You already are under. How do I want to word this? Those folks
at a slight disadvantage
are already at a slight disadvantage from day one. Mm-hmm. It's nobody's fault. It's just the way it is. So what does that mean? Flounder, throw your hands in the air and whine and complain, or go do something about it?
So one thing I actually learned just from like the bodybuilding community, because I've been involved in weightlifting. It might not look like it.
Forever.
Yeah, since I was like 16 years old. I've been lifting weights. I've done powerlifting. I've done bodybuilding, everything like that. So there are some people in bodybuilding that are just blessed with better genetics. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just some people have them, some people don't. But there are a lot of times where the person with the good genetics will get convinced that they have good genetics, so they don't have to work as hard.
Wrong.
But, yeah, the person without as much genetics, if they put in the work, they'll beat you. You're going to have to work a little bit harder.
Work. That, to me, it just all comes back to step up, do it, work hard, get it done.
So, and a lot of people will get flustered, and this is not just in any specific field, it's just pretty much across the board. They see the overall grand picture. They get overwhelmed by how big it is, and they just never start.
It's a good...
You have to learn.
Look at you getting all thinking about the future.
Dude,
shit.
I have solved the world problems like 17 times. I just forget.
Oh, yeah, I remember back then. We used to talk about that.
But
don't remember what we come up with, but...
Think about building a house. I mean, if you look at a house, how many nails, screws, drywall, everything that goes into it, you're just like, oh, shit, this is so much. But just break it into little projects.
Let's get this wall done.
Yeah.
Let's get this wall done.
It's not going to happen overnight. So you just stick it to the grindstone and pick your battles. You're not going to win every single one.
Nope.
And I realized a long time ago, there is so much stuff throughout the day to get pissed off at, and I just don't have the energy to do it all. I mean...
Sometimes that anger gets me through.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that, though.
You pick your battles. You get pissed off at what needs to get pissed off at to kind of get you through, and then you just do it.
Yeah, look for the end of the day. Look for the end game. Look for the next job or the next thing that needs to get done. And before you know it, you're like, oh,
and
I've been out of that an hour already, and got a better mood because I'm working on this, and that quit pissing me off a while ago. And
sometimes you have to pick the battles that you absolutely know are an easy win too. So like if you're looking at trying to build a wall, it's like, all right, well, I need to just cut some 2x4s first to get this wall ready. Go and cut the 2x4s. That's easy. You just measure, you cut it, and then
it's got to get done.
Yeah. So choose your battles, pick the easy ones, and then once you get that momentum rolling, that shit will just carry you through the rest of the project.
All of a sudden, you're like, oh, that wall's done.
Exactly right.
It wasn't so bad.
Yep. So, like, the hard part that you were dreading the entire time through the whole project is now all of a sudden done, and you don't even realize it because it wasn't that hard because you started with the small shit and you rode that momentum out through it.
Yeah, you picked that battle to get it nice and easy and started and then just rolled with it, you know.
I do that all the time. Like, I will pick the most brainless aspect of the job to start with first. It's like, you know what? I could do this in my sleep and not screw it up. And then I screw something up.
Well, obvious. That's normally how it goes. Like, oh, I'll just change the oil on this thing real quick. Freaking 2 days later.
Yeah. So it's learning how to choose the battles at the right time, too, because sometimes I'm just not in the mood to deal with this shit right now. So I'm going to go and do something else.
Yeah, I'm going to go excuse myself that direction where there's nobody over there. Get this shit worked out of my system and then back to it.
Yeah. And there's going to be flare-ups every once in a while. There's been more than a few times, like I'm getting my ass kicked by something. There's a hammer in my hand. Things happen, you know.
You got to walk away sometimes, though.
Yeah.
And then that's the other side of it too, right? So if you're flustered and things aren't going right, they're not going right, and you know that I'm going to hit this hammer, and instead of hitting it square, I'm going to hit it off just a little bit, and it's going to bend over, and it's going to piss me off because then I got to pull it back out, and I'm going to do the same thing with the next hammer. Walk away. I don't care if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 50 years, just walk away.
Go take a shit or something.
Exactly. Go to the bathroom, go put a chew in, go smoke a cigar. I don't care. Just walk away for a little bit, and then by the time you come back, hopefully it goes a lot smoother because you're not in your own head then at that point, and the things start flowing a little bit better. And
you're riding out the snowball effect on both aspects of the spectrum here. So, like, if you're planning on something going wrong and then it goes wrong and you get pissed off, well, it's because you were planning on it going wrong, stupid.
Every day for me.
And that I'm guilty of it too. It's like, oh, this is going to suck. I know it's going to suck and I don't want to do it. And then I do it and it sucks. And then I'm surprised when it sucks and I get pissed off.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's just, you got to learn to pick your small battles. Don't look at the overall grand scheme. Obviously, the grand scheme is like the end project that you want, but it's all little pieces that go into it. Pennies add up to dollars.
We'll get there,
So,
well, we better wrap this up. We've been talking for well over an hour now.
Well, time flies when you're having fun.
I've had a blast. I've had a good time doing this one. This has been fun.
So yeah.
We'll have to do it again in the future.
Yeah, sounds
It's a good way to stay in touch and
gives us an excuse to get together.
Yeah, and, talk shit. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with it too. It's just now that it's recorded.
Don't show it to the people that you like. All right, Matt. We'll talk to you later.
That sounds good, Kyle. Thanks.